1941, retired industrialist Louis J. Cook and his family visited the small town of Santa Claus, Indiana. He was absolutely and flabbergasted that there was no sign of Santa to be had in the town. So he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to build an amusement park in this town where kids can visit Santa year-round. And why the not? I say amen, brother. So right out of the gate, his plans got a little up by Adolf and the boys in WW2. But after that fiasco came to a close, Mr. Cook's plans to open his park went on ahead full steam. 1 year after construction began, Santa Claus Land opened to the general public on August 3rd, 1946, absolutely free of charge. Some of those opening day attractions included a toy shop, some small children's rides, a restaurant, the Freedom Train, but most importantly, a meet and greet with Santa Claus. After Louis got everything up and going, his son Bill took over as park president, and he added some more rides and grew the park quite significantly. 1948, they added the Frontier Farm, a large petting zoo which actually featured 14 reindeer. Of course, named after Santa's reindeer. 1955 saw the park charge admission for the first time. Children still got in free, but adults were charged a whopping 50 cents. That same year also saw the addition of Hall of Famous Americans, a wax museum with an emphasis on American presidents and other famous historical American figures. 1958 saw something pretty cool in terms of lodging, as guests could now stay on site at the Lake Rudolph campground right next door. The last time I visited Holiday World, I stayed here, and it was cool. I've been to a number of theme park campgrounds, but Lake Rudolph stands out above the rest. Highly recommended. 1960 saw the addition of some live entertainment, and we're talking about a water ski show. Pretty simple, but I can dig it. Over the next 16 years, the park just kind of remained idle, bringing in families from across the southern Midwest with an emphasis on entertaining their children. But that was about to change, as they added some rides that would appeal to an older demographic, like the Scarecrow Scrambler, Eagle's Flight, some bumper cars, and the Roundhouse. Also that year, the main entrance of the park was relocated to expand the parking lot and bring in some more 1978, we saw the Lewis and Clark Trail come along, a classic Tin Lizzie attraction. And also Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, a standard octopus, but they're still fun rides. 1981 saw the park's first roller coaster, and we're talking about Firecracker, originally known as Blitzen, a Pinfari Zyklon model coming over from Geauga Lake, where it operated as Cyclone. By 1984, the Cook family decided, you know what, there's more f***ing holidays than just Christmas. So the super intelligent decision was made to expand the park, with the addition of the 4th of July section and the Halloween section, most notably coming with it the Frightful Falls, a classic log flume attraction that's still operating today. So it was illogical at that point to go on continuing to call the park Santa Claus Land. So the decision was made to aptly rename the park Holiday World. And 2 years after that, we got the addition of Banshee, a Chance Falling Star model. By the time the 1990s rolled around, the park was really starting to take shape as we know it today. We got the addition of Raging Rapids and Boulder Canyon, a Hopkins Rapids attraction. Also around that time, Will Cook took over from his father, Bill Sr., and one of the first major things he did was the addition of Splashin' Safari, an absolutely ginormous water park. I mean, this thing has everything. It's one of the most complete and best water parks that I have ever been to. 1995 saw the park get its first bad roller coaster, and I'm talking about Raven, coming from the guys at CCI. This is a great ride, and at one time was voted the best wooden roller coaster in the world. It is pretty good. 1997 saw the removal of the Firecracker, and it was sold to Jolly Roger Amusement Park in Ocean City, Maryland, where it operated under the same name, just for one season, and then it was sold to the Ohio State Fair, where it operated as Avalanche from 1999 to 2009. 1999 was the removal of the Frontier Farm Petting Zoo, but that was to make way for a new area of the park, a kids area called Holodog's Fun Town, featuring the mascot of Holiday World, Holodog. First year of the new millennium turned out to be a pretty significant one, as the park offered free unlimited soft drinks for the first time, something they have become absolutely legendary for in the business, and I think a brilliant business idea. That year also saw the addition of another CCI wooden roller coaster, Legend. Not as good as Raven in my opinion, but a good solid ride, not a terrible ride by any means. 2002 was a double whammy of removals as we said goodbye to Banshee and we said goodbye to Hall of Famous Americans. That was to clear path for 2 new attractions the following year, the Hollow Swings and an S&S launch tower known as Liberty Launch. 2004, the park was awarded the Academy Award of Amusement Parks, if you will, the Applause Award, handed out by the CEO of Liseberg, a theme park in Sweden, acknowledging high standard achievements within the industry. A very big deal. Also that year we saw the removal of Roundhouse, but that was just to make way the following year for a bigger version of that ride, known as Revolution. 2006 saw the park's biggest expansion since the early 90s, and it was the addition of the Thanksgiving area in the back of the park. Coming with it, the Gobbler Getaway, an interactive dark shooter from the Sally Corp, but most notably, one of the best roller coasters I have ever been on, and if you've ever had the chance to, that you will ever be on. And I'm talking about The Voyage from the Gravity Group. This thing is nuts from start to finish. Fucking awesome ride. The ride feels like it goes on forever, and I mean that in a good way. Ton of airtime, and is just easily a world-class attraction. To add to the Thanksgiving section, in 2009 they added the Pilgrim's Plunge. A what the Intamin Shoot the Chutes ride that was 136 foot tall and had an elevator lift take you to the top. This thing was juiced. 2010 was a tragic year, as Will Cook, the park's president, passed away at his home at 48 years old unexpectedly. His brother Dan Cook took over as park president immediately. 2011 saw the removal of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, and that was to make way the following year for the Sparkler, a Zamperla Star Flyer standing 65 feet tall, kind of like a small version of a Sky Screamer you would find at Six Flags, but it's supposed to appeal to families, so it serves its purpose. The rest of 2012 was kind of a wild one, as Pilgrim's Plunge was renamed to Giraffica as they expanded Splash and Safari and kind of just threw it in the mix with that. Also that year we saw the first non-Cook family member take over as park president as Matt Eckert took the reins. But the wildest story of that year was easily the near purchase of Kentucky Kingdom. Just 72 miles away in nearby Louisville, Kentucky, was Holiday World's main competitor. It was owned by Six Flags at the time, but Six Flags up a lot of and went bankrupt and were selling off all their properties. I guess the deal was inches away from being finalized. They were going to rename it Bluegrass Boardwalk, and they even had an opening day planned. But I guess at the last minute, the state of Kentucky made things very difficult, and the Cook family said, you know what, forget about it. And the deal fell through. As a theme park enthusiast, sometimes I wonder, what could have been? 2013, we saw the removal of Giraffica as it was deemed an absolute and maintenance nightmare. 2014, we got the addition of a weekly fireworks show and a pirate ship attraction called the Mayflower. I've been on hundreds of pirate ships, but I don't know what it was with this one. This one was probably the most forceful I've ever been on. 2015, we saw an expansion of the Thanksgiving section as the Sparkler came on over from the 4th of July section and was renamed the Crow's Nest. But hands down, most importantly, we got the one and only launched B&M wing coaster in the world, and really the first major steel roller coaster in the park's history. Standing 140 feet tall, looming its way in the back of the park is Thunderbird, an absolutely unique experience that was perfect addition to this park. I will always have a special place in my heart for Holiday World. Sure, it's small in stature, hilly as a son of a but it is an absolutely gorgeous park and perfectly operated. Arguably the best independent park in the country. Whether you're with your family, fellow theme park enthusiasts, a water park fan, doesn't matter, Holiday World has you covered. Holiday World doesn't get much better.